In the videos we have seen so far, we covered some of the direct control panels. We went through the motor control tab and the limit switches tab. With the motor control tab, we got an immediate response from the stepper board when we pressed any of the buttons. We will now see a different way of working with the stepper controller. We will learn in the next videos how to get our model to repeat a sequence of movements by itself without our intervention. We call this way of working teaching because we get the board to memorize a sequence of movements we perform. In essence, we teach the stepper board what we want it to do. In this video, we'll go over the very basic concepts of teaching. In the videos that follow, we will elaborate on this concept. Let's start from the end. I want to show you what our goal for this video is. After we complete the steps outlined here, we'll be able to click on this icon, the run button, and the trolley will move non-stop back and forth. A click on the stop icon will stop the car. If the stepper controller software is running, close it. Make sure the stepper board is powered and connected to the computer. Then, double-click on the software icon. After the program starts, the main window should look like this. The motor control tab should be selected, and the teach sequence panel should be gray. Connect the trolley motor and the left and right switches as we did before. Set the switches on the limit switches tab as we explained in the third video. Set the speed of motor 0 to 100. Don't load the file we created in the previous video. We will use it in a later video. We will designate the locations to which the car has to move with two markers. We will place the A marker on the left side and the B marker to the right. We will teach the car how to move from one marker to the other. First, the board will move the car to the A marker, and then it will move it to the marker labeled B. This sequence will be repeated until we stop the trolley. A gray background on the teach sequence panel indicates that the stepper controller software is not ready yet to start the learning process. We cannot teach it anything yet. We must first get the software ready to learn. A click on the new icon on the teach toolbar prepares the board for the learning process. After we click on new, the software asks us if we want to clear the switches. The program wants to know if we're going to use the settings that are now configured in the limit switches tab, or if we're going to configure the switches in a different way. Since we want to keep these settings, we click on No, meaning that we don't want to clear the switch settings. As this dialog window closes, the back of the teach sequence panel turns white. The controller is now ready to start learning. We will now click on the button to move the car to the A marker. Once there, we have to tell the stepper controller that this is the first position we want the trolley to memorize. This icon, the Add Position icon, does the job. A click on Add Position asks us how we want to call this step. We type in position A and click on Accept. The first step was recorded by the board and it appears in the teach sequence panel. The software and the hardware know that the car will have to move to position A. Our next objective is to tell the board that its next move is to B. We click and hold down the down button in the move column until the trolley reaches B. Once the trolley is in B, we again click on the Add Position icon in the toolbar. Again, The stepper controller wants to know how we're going to call this step. Let's name it position B and click on accept. The teach sequence now has 2 steps. Let's review what we have done so far. First, we click on New and we got the board and the software ready to start learning. We then moved the car to the A position and we added it. The software recorded it as the first step. Next, we moved the car to the B position and added to the sequence as the second step. Both the hardware and the software know that the car has to move first to A and then to B. We will now click on the run icon to get the car moving, but before we do that, let me explain what will happen. As soon as we click on run, the board will move the car to the first step in the sequence. Since the first step is the A position, the trolley will move to A. Once the car reaches A, the board will move the trolley to the next step, which is B. After it reaches B, the board will realize that it reached the end of the teach sequence, so it will start again. It will move the car to A. Let's click on run and see what happens. The car moves to A, and then to B, then back to A, and again to B. If we click now on stop, the car will continue moving until it completes the current step, and then it will stop. That's it. We entered a simple teach sequence, and we got the model to execute it. We barely scratched the surface of teach sequences. In the next video, we will start exploring in more detail the concepts involved in teach.